Hi friends, welcome to Tutors Funny channel. Today I am going to teach how to make the simple payroll project using NodeJS and Angular. NodeJS is a backend, frontend is a Angular. First we have to make the folder. This one Node Angular project. Right. Here I am going to type cmd. First I'm going to create the project. So here, right? So here this project first I'm going to do it as a backend. The backend. This backend, inside the backend I'm going to create the Node.js project. So you have to type the cmd. You have to type node npm init. Type this command to create the Node.js project. So you have to press enter key and enter key. I don't need this all the things. Right. Yes. Now my package.json is created. You will be able to see. Right. My package.json is created. Right. Now here I am going to open up on the VS Code editor. Code space dot. Right. It successfully open up the VS Code editor. This is standard, you have to follow it. Right. After that, we have to download the following dependencies. Right. But backend we have to connect with the Mongoose database. It's a MongoDB. So you have to add the Mongoose library, all the things. So we have to go to Google and type npm express. So write express. So just type express.js. Okay, express.js. So here you have a installation. Right? You have to type npm install express. Right? You have to copy. Back it to your terminal. Open the terminal. You have to paste it over here. Right? Press enter key. Right? Express, which is the server, it will be managing the Node.js project. Right? So this is server. Right? So you have to install the server. npm install. That's the thing you have to follow it. Okay? Right. Now here, after install the Express server, you will be able to see, you can see all the node modules. There's a new folder which will be created as created node modules. All the dependencies has been created. After that, what you're going to do is I'm going to go to, and another thing is you have to go npm mongoose. Okay, so mongoose. So we have to install this dependency as well. We have to connect with the database mongoose. Paste it over here. Sorry. Click on this clipboard. It will be, you have to paste it over here. Right. Now you have to wait until the installation process completed. We have to download this. You have to install these two dependencies, Express server and mongoose. Right. Both are installed successfully. Now let's implement that. So first I'm going to click on this. Sorry, not here. This is your project structure. Node modules here. Outside here. Click on the folder. Click on the file. I'm going to name this one as server. Server. .js. This is server. Right? Okay, so backend, this is server. We will be configuring everything here. Okay, the port, we have to manage the port and all the routes management, all things we have to do it here. Okay, it will be programming starting from here, the server.js. Right. Now here first what I'm going to do is, you have to go to the installing Express. Here, we no need to write the code. Here we have to get the code over here. Get started Express, Express generate. Here, hello world. Click on this. Here, how to implement the Express server, it automatically are telling. This is how we have to implement the Express server. You just copy this line, back it your here, paste it here, you have to adjustment. You have to take the adjustment over here, right? So here this port, this one, all this no need. So here you can test it, okay, whether it's working fine or not. Save all. Now you can check here. First we have to add the library express, which is a server. Okay, the server, right? The server we have to pass it here to, we have to create the object app. This app object we have to manage the port and URL and everything, right? So here app, this app, we have created the express object app dot listen. We have to manage the port. Port we have to assign, what is the port? 3000. Okay, so we are, let me change this as 6000. We can, whatever port you can give, right? Here listening port, we have write port connected. You have to write connecting port, connected port, right? You write like this. Okay, now let's file, save all. Now let's check how to run the application. You write run node, what is the file? This one should be the server.js. Here you can get the success message, port connected port, this one. Now here the port 600. Now let me test that. So if you are install the Postman, this is a Postman tool. So here I'm going to go to here the request. I'm going to get a get request. You test that, this one. It's a get request. You test the response. Okay, when the request is coming 600 port, we have to get this message hello world. So you have type localhost, what is the port we are running? 6000. Okay, 6000 port, right? So click send button, the hello world is displayed. Okay, it successfully displayed the hello world, right? It returned the hello world successfully. Okay, when you type the URL, you can get this message. Perfect, right? Now what I'm going to do is, after done the stuff, let's do the MongoDB implementation. Now let's connect with the database, which is a Mongoose. Okay, MongoDB database we have connected. So there is a we have to add the dependency, which is a Mongoose. So we already installed. You can check here package.json. We have to install Mongoose and Express. You can see here. Now I'm going to go to serve.js. I have to, this one I already done it. Okay, so you have to here how to type this one, var mongoose required mongoose, right? So very simple. This how we have added, right? So here you have you can, this one also you can go to the mongoose JS. You can go over here. Here it will be there. So mongoose, this is the connectivity. Here you will be able to see the connectivity and all the everything you will see, right? So the same thing here added. This is a library. I have make it as constant. I make it as var mongoose required mongoose, right? So we no need to write this. All things are there. Okay, here they are respective websites. If you go to the npm here mongoose, when you install in this side we are installed, they are here, they are telling how to implement this one. Here they are telling, here they are telling how to connect the mongoose, right? You have to first, you have to constant mongoose, you have to write like this. After that we have to, this is the connectivity, right? This connectivity here they are mentioned the connectivity, the same thing I mentioned here, right? This one I have to come later on, right? Okay, so var mongoose required mongoose library, second mongoose connect, my database is MongoDB localhost, right? Now what I'm going to do is here, if you are not to install the MongoDB database, you must install it, right? After that what you are going to do is here you have to open up MongoDB Compass. Okay, MongoDB Compass. If you are familiar in the another one, it is, if you are this, the MongoDB Compass, then easy, you have to type RoboMongo. This is the best. Okay, download RoboMongo. This one also I have opened it. This one also I have installed it in my machine. RoboMongo. This also good. Okay, RoboMongo, right? You can configure that both, whatever you like. So I have installed in this one, right? The MongoDB Compass, right? So this is the port here. When you install, you can get it this port. they provide the connection here, MongoDB localhost this connection. So let's connect. Click connect. It will be connected, right? It will be connected successfully, right? Now I'm going to create the database. So click on this file. Here we have to create the database DB. So DB payroll collection employee, right? This is a database name. This is the table name. Okay, in MongoDB there is no table. This table we have called as collection. Table we have called as collection. Click create. Now you can see here DB my this is a DB. This is the employee collection has been created successfully. Right now this DB payroll we have to given here DB payroll. Right. Now we have to check whether it's the thing is working or not. Let's file save all. Let's control C to stop the project. I'm going to again you have to connect the project. So you have to type node server.js, press enter key. It one should be what's there. If you're facing these issues, what you're going to do is you have to install npm I Mongoose. This is the latest version I am to install. Okay, right? 6.10.4, the latest version, right? You have to install it. There's an issue with the Mongoose. Okay, so while connect with this. Now it installed successfully. Now let's run the application check. npm node server.js. Right now here it will be running. Now here while connecting the server, the DB, you get the error. The error will be displayed here. The Mongoose, some error will be displayed. So here instead of the localhost, we have to type the localhost port, which is a 127.0.0.0.1, and here right. So after that, here you can see the strictly there will be the security purpose. You have to add this line. Mongoose security strike query true. Set query, this one you have to add it. Now let's file and save all. Control C to stop the application, run it again. Here connected the port successfully, DB connected successfully. Perfect. Now the working perfect. After done the stuff, here you have a MongoDB connected. Okay, very simple. You have to add these two things in order to connect the DB. So here user URL pass to use unified topology true. This is must. Okay, so after that function check, we have to check whether the data DB is connected or not. So you have to create a separate function check DB. You have to if there is any error, the error should be displayed. I already show why the error is displayed here. It will be shown. If there is no error, it will be connected to your DB successfully. Right? That is the things we have connected with the MongoDB. Right? Your DB is connected successfully. Now what I'm going to do is another things we have to create the model view architecture. So let's right click. I'm going to make the new folder here. This one should be routes. I'm going to create another folder which is a src. Inside the src folder, I'm going to create another folder which is a employee. Select employee folder. Another folder I'm going to create as task. You have to create the separate two folders. You have to create employee and task. After that employee folder, I'm going to create three different files. Okay, so first one I'm going to create as employee controller .js. After that, another thing is employee service .js. Third one should be employee model .js. You have to create three different files inside this folder, right? This is the thing you have to make it, right? First, we have to handle with the routes. Okay, here at routes. Okay, then the server, we have all the things that we are done. Now we are going to go to the route section. Route section, select the route section, new file. Here we have to create the file which name is routes.js. Here, first I have to go to the server. We have to establish this one, this express, right? We have to add it into the routes, right? Now here, all the URLs will be managed to the routes. Okay, what is the URL coming here? It will be coming through the routes. Routes is the part which will communicate with the controller. Controller is the part communicate with the service. Service is the part communicate with the model and get the record and back to the view. That is the flow running on the Node.js, the RESTful API part, right? Now, what you're going to do is here, I'm going to connect with the route. So here this one, okay, we have no need that. So right here you can see Express, you have to establish Express server. Express server as a function which is a route. Okay, it will be, there's a function routes. It will be create the object as router. Route object will be created. Now the router object, this router object, we have to manage all the routes. Right. Now first route, I am going to create two routes over here. First time you are getting there, two things, right? First one, this one should be there. Var employee, this is an employee controller. Say employee controller. Required. This one should be there. We have employee controller, right? Say employee controller. What is the things it will be expand this line is here. You can see your controller. Here we have to require the controller. First you have to specify. Okay, here first you have to specify the controls a part. We have to, the routes to, we have to sending the request to the controller. So we have to mention the path where your controller is resided. So where it will be decided. Here see first required. Here now you are in which folder? Routes folder. This route is in the routes folder. So with double dot mean it will be come out of the folder. This is out of the folder. After that you go to src folder. Inside the src folder there is a folder which is the employee folder. This is employee folder. Inside the employee folder we have employee controller is there. Okay, we have to mention the path where your employee controller is it. Okay, the where your employee controller is located. You have to mention the path where it is resided in your project. Okay, so then only you have to give the path properly. If the path is wrong, it won't work. Okay, so we have to mention the path clearly. So here the clear sr. So here double dot mean this is this file. If you double dot mean it will be come out of the folder. After that you go inside this folder src. So /src/employee. Inside the employee folder we have a file called employee controller. You have to type the name correctly, otherwise it won't work. Right, that's it. You successfully mention the path. After that, what you are going to do is here, I'm going to create. You can see when the request is coming, this is a router object. You have to call it here route/employee. You write employee/employee get all. What happens? It goes to employee controller get data function. Right? Okay. Employee controller get data function. Right? After when the request is coming, employee create, it goes to the employee create controller. Employee create employee controller. Right? We have to create these two functions. We have to create it on where employee controller. Okay, when you get the data. Okay, when you receive the data. Okay, so now let's go to moving to the employee controller. Right. Okay, right. So instead of writing, I just paste and expand. We reduce the time to complete the project. Right. First, what I'm going to do is these three things I just copied. Right. Now here this one. Here what's the name? Employee service. Here what I did is first at the first time you have to tell them the control to send the request to the service. So we have to add the service path. Service here we don't need to come out of the folder. Here the same folder my service page is there. So what you do is your current directory is dot slash employee service. If you call, it goes to this file. Right. After that, var get data controller function. It is there. Where it is coming from? Where? Here we are sending to the controller get data function. Okay. So this is the second function. Employee create employee controller function. The second function we have created. Right. Okay. First, what I did here is when the request is coming to the routes slash employee get all when you type this one into the Postman now your front end, it goes to the controller employee controller get action method. Go to the employee controller. This is the get action method. Get the request. Here is the employee. Okay, avoid. We have tried this one should be what's the things? Employee service. You have to send into the employee service. This is not a user service, it's employee service. Employee service, you are sending the record employee service. Okay, your employee service reside on here. Okay, it's sending the employee service dot get data from the DB service. This is the method which will be serving. Send the service also sending the request to the controller also sending the request to the service. So service also there the method which is a get data from DB function, right? Okay, that's the thing you have to write here. Request send. Okay, get the response you have to sending to here, right? Okay, right now let's go to the employee service. Employee service, very simply. This also you have to attach the get data and this one. Two things I just copied. I'll be explaining. Right now here also this one should be the what is this one? I already told the part. Employee service. Employee service where it will be getting the data from model. So here first you have to mention the path where your model is resided. My model is resided in the current folder. Current folder, which is the current folder, employee folder. Employee folder, you can see the employee model. That file is there. So you write employee model. Right. Okay. This one should be employee. Right. Model export data from DB from. We have tried this promise. There is a method which database method. It will be this method has two functions, which is resolve and reject. If the request is successful, okay, the response request is success, resolve will be work and produce the output. If there are any error while we sending the request, if there are any error, any problem, the request will be rejected. It will be failure and produce the error part. Okay, so this is the two things which will be promised. Okay, promise has two. We have to create a function, create check URL. Promise has two arguments, resolve and reject. This is professional way to do it. Right. Okay. So now what you are going to do is in this point we have to load the data from the database. So we have an employee model. Find return data error and result. Okay, if the data is there, it will be result and load the data and it will be resolved. Okay, works. If there is any problem with the data, okay, so the error should be displayed. Okay, if there is any problem with while loading the data, the error should be displayed. What is the error? It will be mentioned. Okay, it will be rejected. Okay, if there is no error, the promise will be resolved and send back to the response of the controller. Okay, right. Now where we are getting the data from user model, employee model. So we have an employee model also we have created. Now here I'm going to attach this complete schema. This is employee model schema. The simple schema I have created. First, this is a Mongoose library. You have to import the Mongoose library. We already in server also we have implemented the same library. We implement the model as well because this is the database schema, the same field in the database. So this also you have to make it as not user. You have to make it as employee schema. Okay, the schema you have to pass it here as well. This is the employee schema. Right, employee schema. This is the table structure. The table has the employee collection. The in NoSQL, because the MongoDB is a NoSQL database, so which is not, it is not in the table. Instead of the table, they are implementing the collection. The collection, what are the collections are there inside this column, database column? Name, address, and phone number. So name, this is the string. Name and name, what is the appropriate database string? This one should be the required. Address, this is the appropriate database string. Phone number also I have make it as appropriate database string. But if you want, you will be able to change the data type as integer. Okay, that is your wish, but I am not going to calculate anything, any validation over here, so that I keep this one as also string. Okay, right? That's the thing. Okay, this is the database schema: name, address, and phone number. Right. So this, what is the database name we have created? Table name employees. You can see here. So employees. You have created employees. Okay, this is employees. I have created this one employee. Okay, this one should be I created as employee. So I just create as employee. So we have to make this one also employee. The employees. Right. So here what you're going to do is you have to drop the collection. I have to make this collection as employee. Just select something employee. You type this employee. I'm going to make this one as instead of employee. I'm going to create this one collection as employees. This is the efficient way to create employees. Okay, say employees. Okay, collection. Sorry, not here. I have a table. What is the table you have created? So sorry, I have dropped the database. The database also, that's the problem, right? Yeah, my database is DB payroll. The employees, not employee, employees. You have to type the plural. That's the efficient way to create the table names, plural. Okay, you can create like this. That this is not an efficient way. That's why I dropped the complete database, entire database, and I have create again. Right, you have to write like this. It's simple. Now let's file and save all. Okay, this is schema. So your table schema. That's the thing you have to do it. Right. Now what you're going to do is we have to get the data. We have to load the data, and getting the data, get the model. Okay, we have to here to get all the data. This is the model which will be communicate with the MongoDB database and get all the data, fetch all the data from here and pass into the service here. If you write employee model.find me, we will get all the data. You have to send back to, if the result is come result, send the back result is record to where the service to controller. Right, control get the data, and here it send the response. Okay, request is sending, get the response, you are sending the response. Okay, status to data this employee. Yeah, it will be get the response over here. We are sending here what are the employee there, employee data is there. You will be able to see here. That's the thing happened. Okay, right. Second one should be the create employee var create employee control. Here where we have add the employees. We have to create the new record, employee record. Assign task request. Okay, when the here when the URL is coming slash, let's go to the routes, starting from routes slash employee create. When the URL request is coming like this, it goes to the employee controller create employee action method. So employee controller create employee controller action method. Here var status provide. Yeah, this one should be the employee service create. This one should be the what's the function employee service. This one should be the create employee user DB. Employee user DB is called employee user DB. What is the value you are typing on the front end? It's a request body. Okay, here name is John, the address is employee address is this, the phone number is this. All the data you will be getting over here. Request body, right? Okay, so request body, this request body. What is the data you're coming? You get the request body. It's sending to where employee service create DB service. Okay, so let's go to the employee service. This one, employee service create your DB service, right? Here we have a this one should be made as employee details. Employee details, right? Employee details, right? Okay, we have employee details. What I did is here also the same thing. Okay, here this one should here. What is the data you're typing on? This is all the data you're sending to where? Employee service create action method. So all the data should be receiving here. After that, here also we have created the promise. Okay, from promise function we have my find here resolve and reject. Okay, if there any problem with the data adding, it will be rejected. If there is no problem while you are adding the data, it will be success, it will be resolved, and it will be passing to record added successfully. Right now here, get the data, receive the data. This is the data we are receiving. Okay, receiving the data. What I need to do is here first we have this employee model. Here the where's employee model. Okay, so employee model you are giving here employee model. Okay, employee model data. Employee model data. Here this one's employee model data. Right. What I did here is here this is your database schema. We have to get the data. Your database schema is reside on where employee model. This is the path. So here we have to create the object. Okay, we have to new employee model. We have get the model, create the model object. The model object we have to write. We have to call the name, address, and phone. Okay, this is the data. Here you can see if you are what is the schema you have created. The same thing here. Name, address, phone number. Same thing here. You have created name, address, phone number. Okay, so name, address, phone number. This also in the backend. Okay, so here also this is your form values. Okay, the form values. Here are database also. This is your database where you have create form data, name, address, phone. These are all the schema. Okay, here the same field. Okay, here we have created the schema object. Okay, here employee model. Your model is reside on here. This model object we have created as employee model. Here we have get this model, we have call it here. We are using a new word to create the object of employee model data. Employee model data name, address, phone number you are declaring here. After that, here also the values. What are the values you are front end you are passing? So front end you are getting employee details, name, address, and phone number you are passing. After that, you are called this employee model data save function. Okay, if there is it is successful, result will be resolved and add the record into the database. If there's any problem with while adding the data, it will be rejected. That's the thing, it will be happen. Right? Perfect. This is the thing, it will be happen. Right? Now what I'm going to do is we have successfully done the view part and create part. Now I'm going to go to do the another thing is our update part. Update and delete part. Okay, now what you're going to do is here we have to create an update and delete the part. We just copy these lines, right? I just copied. I'll be explain it. Controller, right? This is a controller, right? Update and delete controller. I just copy these two. So all things I just copied. Controller, right? Here there is a var update control update employee controller. Employee controller. This one should be the create employee controller. Create employee controller. Right. Sorry. Right. Now here what I did here is this is the employee update controller. Okay, so when you update the record, the same like a create the record, only the difference is we have get the ID. When you update the record, you have a record, you wish to update this particular record. So what you are going to update, click on this particular employee ID. So the employee ID is a primary key. So based on the IDs, we have to change something else and click update, record should be updated. So here also here, when the here also I'm going to do it, router, you have to pass it. Here this one, router also, you have to write first. When the use case is coming, route employee update data, right, along with the ID. Okay, create also we don't need the ID. Here update part we need the ID. So here you can see when you view the data, there is a get action method will be working. When you create the data, post action method will be working. When you update the record, post fetch action method will be working. When you delete the record, delete action method will be working. At the moment we have update the data, so we have fetch action method. So this is the employee controller. This one should be the update employee controller. Delete employee control. This one delete employee controller. So here you can see when the request is coming slash employee update along with the ID, it goes to employee controller update employee controller update employee controller action method. Okay, so employee controller update employee controller action method. So here the same things you have to write here. Update employee control action method. So here also you write update employee control action. The same thing you have to export it. Right. Okay, I'll be explaining that. Okay, when the request is coming, get the request. Here first you have to get the ID. Here we get the ID and it will be the body. Okay, body means the name, address, and mobile number. All the things are getting along with the ID. We have tested whether it's coming or not. We have to test it like this. After that, we have write var result avoid. This one should be which the service employee service. So that employee service update employee update. This one should be the employee DB service. So here we have to get two things. What is the things? Body data, name, address, phone, all things are getting along with the ID. Okay, what's the ID you're coming? You get the ID as well. After that, what I'm going to do is it goes to the function employee service update employee DB service. It goes to the function. So go to the employee service over here. Here I'm going to declaring these two things. Now here I'm going to get it. Here this one update. Here this one we are getting the controller employee service update employee DB controller. Here DB service. Here you are getting here employee update employee DB service. You will get the ID. Here you are sending the two data, ID and request body. We have all the name, address, phone number will be coming. You are retrieving over here the service. Okay, here ID and your employee details. The same thing, employee details you are retrieving. After that, we have to check whether it's coming successfully or not here over here. After that, we have a promise. This is also promise. You have to write a promise. Okay, this is an efficient way to write the CRUD application with promise. So here promise, we have a function resolve and reject. If the request is successfully, it will resolve working. Then failure, reject. So here this one should be the what is the model? Employee model. The same thing, the employee model. Employee model, there's a find by ID update. This one should be the employee details. So get the employee details along with the ID. Error and result. If there's any problem with while update the record, reject will be displayed and reject false. If there is no problem, it will be success. It will be resolved. Result will be we will be returned to the result to the controller. That's the thing it will be right. Okay, we are getting these things into, first you have to check here employee model, it dot here, we no need to write this one, you have to click on you have to put here find here, find id and update it, this all the function it return into the express server. Okay, so we simply have to implement this over here, that's the thing you have to write it here. That's it. After that we have a third one is a model, delete the things. So how to read the data, go to here, when the request is coming employee delete, sorry, employee, this one should be the delete the employee, when the request is coming employee delete id, delete is goes to the employee controller, delete employee controller, so delete employee, it goes to the delete employee controller, it's goes to delete employee controller, this one copied, I go to the control part, delete employee controller. Okay, here also you have to delete employee controller, right? Okay, you have to get it like this. Okay, delete employee controller. So you delete employee controller. What's the your ID? What is the ID you are typing here? This URL. This ID we are receiving here request, and it will be passing the employee service. Remove employee DB user service. Employee DB user service. Get the ID, and this one should be you are creating employee service over here. Service over here, and it will be go to the employee model, find by id delete, it will get the id and delete the data, and it will be if the record is deleted successfully, it will resolve. If there any problem with while delete the record, it will be rejected, right? That's the thing it will happen. That's it, that's the thing you have correct. Okay, this is how we have done the record. Okay, this all things we have managed to model, it all things are sending to the model, employee model, right? Okay, perfect. Now let's check through all the things while it's working fine or not. Save all. Go to server. Server, you have to do something else here. We have to give the path of the routes where your route is resided. You have to give the path. So the server is, it will be connected to the port and manage the database connection and routes. So your routes, first you have to telling the routes. The server it will be giving the path of the route where your route is resided. Now it's the current directory slash, there's a folder routes, inside routes folder. Okay, now then only it will be managed. When you connect the port and database connection, when you type the URLs, it will be goes to that particular path routes, right? After that we have to call the routes. This hello world we no need them. Okay, we get rid of this line. Now here what I'm going to do is we have to use these two things. We have to implement this one. Server, this one where we have to write this one should be, we have to get instead of app we have to write server. It's good. Express server. This also you have to write server. And this also you have to write server. App we have to change it as server. Right. So you have to use express JS. You have to, if you write like this, we have connect with the express. After server use routes mean you have to connect with the routes. Then if you have to tell them, we have to use the express server, and we have to tell the, we have to use routes. We have to use the routes. You have to tell them here. You have to mention the path over here. This path, you have to create the object over here. It will be mentioned here. You have to call it like this. Now let's try. Let's save all and test that. Control C, and again you have to run the application. Right, now it's connected successfully. I will check it whether it's working fine or not. Go to our postman. The postman, this is a port, post request, the port, when the request is coming, this is a port 6000 port. Go to the routes slash employee get the first one. We have to create the employee first, then only we will get all. Slash employee create. What are the database schema? You have to test the schema. Let's go to model. Name, address, phone number. Your name, address, phone. Name, address, phone. Not mobile, it's a phone. Sorry. Let's check it. Some name, address, we just send the data. Here it's working perfectly. Here it's working perfectly. It will be created successfully. Now this is not a user created. We have to instead of that we have to create employee created. Get the message? Not user created. We have to user created file. Employee create. Sorry. You have all things employee. This also employee created. Say employee created. Say employee updated. Employee deleted. File save all. Again I am going to run the application. Control C to stop. Again run it. Right, port is running. Now let's test it again. John, India. Click save. Employee created successfully. Now let's test whether it's working fine or not. Get all function. This one employee get all. Here, if you are here, when the request is come, when you go to the routes, when the request is coming slash employee get all, it's called the employee kind of get all method and get the data. Okay, this is the two records you are saved. Now you can get the records here. It's working fine. Right. Now let's see how to update the record. So how to update the record? You have to write a patch tool. Here you have an action method, you change. Here also you have to put what? Patch. So there also you have to patch. It's post, delete request. Patch request. How to patch the record? You have to write employee. The request is employee. Update. ID. This is ID 5. ID system is a 2. This one should be the ID. This ID. Here this ID. You have to write this ID. This ID. ACC. This one ACC. This one I am going to make these changes as ACC. BBVV. This one should be USA. Now let's click send. Here employee update. Now let's check whether it's working fine or not. Employee update successfully. Get all function. It's a get. Okay. Here BBC USA. Employee updated successfully. Now let's test at the delete part. You have to select as a delete. Here also, what is the API we return? Employee delete the ID, relevant ID. Employee delete, sorry. Relevant ID. What's the ID? I'm going to delete the John. This request ID you have to write like this. Now we no need to do anything here. We just quit none. Only you have to delete the record. Click send. Here user deleted. Now what you are going to do is you have to write get all. You check whether it's deleted or not. Get all. Sorry. This one should be get. Here only one record keep. Another record is deleted. Now the API request is working perfectly well. In my next video tutorial, I'll be teach the front end part as Angular okay, of this employee task. Okay, I hope you guys will understood the things well. Thank you for watching.